base our surveillance system on, and can we base our outbreak management on? What kind of tools are out there that can do this dual function? One, of doing proper surveillance and also be able to manage outbreaks out there. The methodology we tried to use in this case was to do a systematic search based on some search engines. Most of you know Google Scholar, and most of you also, of course, many of you here have used Medline a lot, and Embase, Cab Abstract, Popline. So we did a search strategy to see what tools are out there that can actually fit into this criteria and give us the three functionality that helps contain any outbreak. In this case, the EVD outbreak that we had. And according to WHO 2012, according to the E1 guideline, it was said that one, there are three key factors that can help to contain any EVD outbreak. One, contact tracing capability, surveillance capability, and case management. Once you are able to efficiently boost these three factors, you will be able to contain any outbreak at all. And this was the focus and the background we had in our minds before we decided to use the following criteria. We were looking for publications that were about an mHealth tool or an mHealth concept. We're looking for publications that have to do with technical description of the tool in terms of international disease surveillance and outbreak management standards. We had to look at the functionality of mHealth tools according to WHO E1 standards, which were based on surveillance capability, based on case management, and also contact tracing. So the next thing we had to look at was a search timeline between January 1st, 2014 and December 31st, 2015. This was a search strategy we used to try to see what we could get. And the first strategy up to the 5th were very dicey, so we kept checking independently with two different reviewers to see which search criteria is the best for this. And we agreed that the 6th criteria is actually the best for this. So we had to look at the situation whereby you have an outbreak or an epidemic, you're going to use a mobile phone or a smartphone, and it's for Ebola as an inclusion criteria in this case. And when we applied that to do some first step selection and extraction, we selected EVD publications that cover tools that run on smartphones, extracting content from the publications using a standardized extraction form based on two factors, technical design and functionality. We categorize each extracted publication based on publication types. It will be surprising to see that, well, not surprising to see that most of the publications were peer-reviewed papers, but incidentally, most IT mobile applications out there do not publish academic or scientific publications, so it's difficult to find them out there. The key functionalities were based on surveillance capability, contact tracing, and case management. We had to look at 5 technical characteristics where we had to look at if this tool in Africa, especially with the internet problem that we have, how do we make this tool, or how is this tool functioning that it can work without internet? And you look at offline capabilities, the type of system, the server characteristics in terms of how this tool works, and integrated data analytics for situation reports. We went ahead to pick out about 693 records that were identified through this search. We picked out 4 or 8 of them from Medline, but the records were in Google Scholar as well. And 465 records were selected after we removed duplicates, and we came up with 118 records screened for relevance. It was so fascinating to see that out of so many tools that were out there, 50 full-text articles assessed based on eligibility came up with 42 tools that were used during the Ebola outbreak in 2014 and 15. When we went deeper to find out to see which of these tools follow the surveillance and outbreak management standards that is meant to be used according to international standards for outbreak management and surveillance, we found out that you had a situation where 50 publications published 28 of them were peer-reviewed, 22 were non-peer reviewed, and 4 of them were book chapters. But it was important to also see that among these 3 functionalities of surveillance notification supported by 14 tools, we had contact tracing by 4 of these